everyone, and welcome to a special episode of JSA TV with Stream Data Centers, where we today will explore how to deliver a great data center experience at the intersection of valuable partnership and mission-critical service. I'm Barb Mitchell of JSA, and joining me today are Chad Rodriguez, Vice President, Network and Cloud, and Katie O'Hara, Vice President, Business Development. It's so great to see you guys again. It's been a few months, and so we're so happy to have you back chatting. I know that you're heading to ITW in Washington, D.C. next month, end of August. And so we'd really love to chat with you today and hear your thoughts on, again, as I said, the intersection of the data center space, Fortune 500 enterprise, hyperscale giants, et cetera. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us, Barb.
Thanks, Barb.
So as I mentioned, you're heading to ITW. It's, I'm sure, going to feel great to be back there. You're heading in person off to Washington, D.C. What are you hoping for? What are you expecting? Tell us what you think.
Well, I'll jump in, Katie, if you don't mind. But just excited to get back out there again. It's, just eager to, be in the environment with our peers, colleagues, customers, and just shaking hands, smiling, sharing stories on what we've all been doing over the past year and a half, and kind of sharing some lessons learned and talking a little bit of business.
I agree with you, Chad. I'm excited to go out and just see everyone face to face, and then also even catch the ball game that we're going to be going to.
Yeah, fun. That would be a highlight for sure. And so, so great to finally see things starting to go back to normal. But, this year hasn't slowed you guys down at all. I think you've been super busy. I think you've had some big projects happening in, Phoenix and Chicago, for example. Can you tell us more about this, sort of what's been happening and what this means for Stream and for your customers?
Yeah. So Barb, we have now started on our second development in Chicago. We have over 200,000 square foot facility in Elk Grove. And the building is going to be capable of reaching 32 megawatts. So we're excited to start on that second development there. As you also know, we have our facility in Phoenix and Goodyear. It's 157 acres with our first building at over 400,000 square feet. We're going to be building about 4 more buildings after that. And that also can reach up to 200 megawatts plus on that site. So very large developments that are happening, and we've been really busy over here. So
yeah, significant for sure.
Yeah, well said, Katie. It's like Katie mentioned, our second facility in Elk Grove, Chicago. Within 12-month time frame, we're finishing construction and cutting the ribbon in one facility and starting construction in our second facility. And from a connectivity perspective, real excited about our Shy 2 location. From a day one perspective, it's going to be our highest connected facility in our existing portfolio. And then, flying out to the Phoenix area, like Katie mentioned, it's, 5 40 megawatt data centers from a planned campus perspective, solving for that, having connectivity to each of those facilities and working with new carriers relations and bringing in networks into that location. And then sharing the vision as far as, it's just not a facility, not a standalone facility, but it's a campus and biggest in the region and nearby region. So we're real excited, to be offering and sharing that over 2 million square foot of data hall plan space.
Yeah, so impressive. Yeah, it's always exciting to see everything. You just keep on moving forward, you guys. So it's exciting to hear all these updates always. We're going to move on now to this, what we call our rapid fire portion of our talk today. So how this works is I'm going to ask a question and you can respond. I'll throw it to one of you. And if the other wants to chime in, that's great, but I'll throw it to one of you. 30 seconds to respond. It's like a game show here, so I'm just going to ask you the first question. This one's going to go to you, Chad. So what are some of the biggest mistakes Fortune 500 and hyperscale organizations make when looking for a data center provider?
Well, if I answered that as a mistake, I probably wouldn't be putting ourselves in a good position. No, we all, have ownership in building the industry, and for Stream Data Centers, it's providing, co-location space. Over 80% of our customer base right now is Fortune 500. We've developed a very strong niche and built some of our newer facilities with hyperscale space to complement some of the other, build to suit or powered shells. We like to stay flexible as far as what our service offering is. And honestly, we learn from each other. So it's not, a mistake necessarily on one particular party, one Fortune 500 entity or hyperscale entity or the colo provider, but collectively learning from each other in how do we improve, because everything is changes so rapidly. And so to be able to keep pace with that and keep an ear on what the latest requirements are, that's part of the ownership that we have to take.
Okay. All right. Next question over to you, Katie. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you ensure that you're acting as the best partner to your customers?
Well, whenever our customers come up with a roadblock or, something they're looking to solve, we have such a large tenure on our team of high-level executives that I like to call upon the different expertises that we have internally to help them with their issues. Whether it's the network team or engineering team looking to solve on floor plans, timing on the construction side, we really can pull in and help them get their job, help them with their job. So, love having our team and in that to help our clients.
Okay. Chad, this one's for you. Okay. So what does Stream do differently from other providers, specifically around network and cloud?
Oh, that's an easy one. Thanks for teeing it up, Barb. No, we like to keep it simple, and we take pride in that. And we that's part of the culture and who we are, not just from a connectivity perspective, but also our business practice. And so that extends into our ecosystem. And so what we try to do is we try to stay out of the way and just create the most conducive environment for our customers. And even, we look at the connectivity providers as our customers as well. And so, we'll help from a consultative perspective to be able to solve whatever the network requirements are, whether it's pulling in, high fiber counts or high speed services or traditional connectivity requirements. And then on top of that, we don't always look, we don't look to monetize, charging carriers to pull in and use our conduit systems. We allow for carriers to pull in, free of charge. And we like to, make it easy for interconnection, whether our customers require bypassing our meet me room and having the carriers pull directly into their data hall and maintaining their diversity requirements that they need, or if it's in a traditional format to where they need interconnection and it's a traditional type service. So for us, again, we take pride on making that simple and making it very cost effective. Again, we don't look to monetize in that space. And we just, we like to make it easy to do business with us.
Okay, so Katie, this one I'm going to send over your way. Last question of our rapid round here. Stream talks about blending real estate expertise with data center acumen when a client is looking at purchasing space. What does that mean to you?
So what that means to me is when looking at space, a client comes to us, we really think it's important, and so do our clients, to look at the technical piece and make sure that, the wheels work the right way and the space is exactly what they want before talking about the financial side. There are some options out there, and you really just need to make sure it works from a technical side first before not leading on the pricing side. So we think that's important.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of that, our rapid fire, but just to round out this session today, to round out our conversation, let's just talk about how your answers look in practice, in, real life. So obviously Stream's able to solve for a number of problems that your customers may be facing. Katie and Chad, can you walk us through, maybe an example of how something that stood out to you?
Yeah, Chad, actually, I really think that we should touch on the network piece. When we are looking into developing a site, we really try to set up the network for our clients and plan for those long lead times.
No, that's a great suggestion for sure. Yeah, so for us, it's some of the practices or some of the fun stuff for us is being able to solve for, network requirements. And so again, that's kind of a differentiator for us. Katie kind of mentions, site selection that goes to our roots as far as who we are. We've been in the business since 1999. We started off as a realty group. Arguably, we were the first data center entity formed. Founders, Paul and Rob, started it, way back then. And so that sort of carried over to some of what we are today, not just data center, existing facilities, co-location, but also, assisting in with site selection. And because we're a subsidiary of a real estate group, which over 900 employees, across the U.S. map, doing over $3.5 billion in transactions annually, that sort of puts us in a different space and ability to sort of foresee and partner with our prospective clients. And so it's cool to be a part of some of these next generation requirements to where it could be hundreds and thousands of fiber optic interconnections that are required, and then working through solving for minimum distances from maybe an existing location, but also having to solve for a maximum distance. And then some of those routes or those connectivity options aren't in place today. So we have to work and partner and intimately care about some of the business that's not just within our brick and mortar, but outside of our facility.
Because without network, you have no data center.
That's right.
So Chad and Katie, that's a wrap for today. That ends today's discussion, but always such a pleasure. Really always enjoy the conversations that we have and having you here to share your expertise. So thank you. And viewers, to learn more about how Stream makes procuring, deploying, and operating data center capacity a great experience, please visit streamdatacenters.com. Until next time, thanks everyone and happy networking.